Okay, so hello everyone. Happy Halloween. So today in my morning meditation, I had all of these kind of like, not necessarily dark images, but in the past few years, there have been a lot of different things that have come out in the news and in behind the news, and so that we've been, if you're paying attention, you can really see the darker side of the light. And so for a few years, actually, I went down a whole bunch of different rabbit holes, and so I started in 2011. I started to start really practicing my spiritual exercises. Started meditating every day and doing all this stuff. And at the time, I was pure love and light. Everything's just love and light, and anything negative, just push it out. It doesn't exist. And then right around 2016 or so, 17, it became increasingly more evident that there was this dark side, and that the idea is not just to push away the dark, but the idea is to understand that the dark is there, and understand that we live in this dualistic kind of world, that it's not just pure light and it's not just pure dark. It's this balance of the light and the dark. And that for example, the Course in Miracles is really good for that forgiveness practice, right? For, when you hear about this stuff, if you don't have a spiritual practice to handle this stuff, it can make you quite crazy, I think. But anyway, so that time of, for me, looking at the dark, I don't look anymore, because I've seen it. I see what it is. Don't really feel the need to research anymore, look into it. I understand what it is. And but for some reason, my meditation today, all of the dark things started coming up, and I thought, what's this? Is this some sort of, what's going on? And I realized, oh, it's Halloween. And so I think one of the good aspects about Halloween is that all of the dark stuff kind of comes up so that you can see it. See, the dark can't be forgiven or dealt with unless it is revealed. You see, we're all going towards this non-dualistic place. If we're going for the ascension, it's not just black and white. We're kind of going above that to kind of really see that we're all one, kind of thing. So anyway, all these different things were coming up, and I was a little shocked because they haven't come up for a while. And they've been appearing too on my kind of like YouTube feed and all these different things. And I thought, what's going on? I don't look at this stuff anymore. And so I think that's what it is. A lot of stuff is coming up to be dealt with. And so that's on the, the macro level. And so then also in our internal level too, where there's a lot of darkness that I guess this day gives us a chance to deal with. And so I always describe it like when you're making shabu shabu, which is the Japanese dish where you have the meat and you kind of cook it in this water. It's like a big soup, and then you kind of like cook this. Shabu shabu is the sound that it makes, shabu shabu, when you cook the meat. And then sometimes there's this stuff called aku, and aku kind of means like negative stuff, but it's just I guess the oil and stuff, and you want to scrape that off the top. So I kind of think what's going on, what has been going on in our world for the past few years, is that the pot is being stirred. The pot is being stirred, and we're seeing what's actually at the bottom of the pot, and it's coming up, and we think, oh my God, I didn't realize that was in this soup. Well, we don't need that, and we kind of scoop it out. And I think that's what's happening. But if we don't stir it up, if we don't look at the bottom of the soup, we have no idea that it's there, and we just kind of blissfully aware, and we're just drinking the soup, but there's this possibly poison at the bottom. So, I'm not saying that it's all poison, but there is. It's important to be aware of what's truly going on, but also to not let it get to you, to not disturb your peace, and to be able to be in a place of forgiveness as well, which is the hardest part. That's the most difficult part. I think if we were all able to do that perfectly, we probably wouldn't be on the third dimension anyway. So I think it's a thing, something that we're all working through, is the idea. Yeah. And so what we're here to do is to deal with forgiveness, learning how to forgive in situations where it seems like almost impossible. How can you forgive this event or this thing or this person? It's, there's no way to forgive them, for example. And that is a really difficult thing for us as humans. And I think that's what we're here for anyway. So, of course, it's going to be difficult. If it were easy, we wouldn't be here. So today's Course in Miracles lesson, as always, is usually very fitting for me. It's "Today belongs to love, let me not fear." So when I saw those images, the first thing I thought was fear, like oh no, what's going on in the world. But yeah, it's there's nothing to fear. It's just things are being revealed, and for us to deal with them. And this is part of our journey as a human collective, is to overcome all of these things and to understand what's really going on, and to be able to deal with it. So this relates to my praying mantis father. Recently, he passed away from the dimension that they were in. He moved to a higher dimension, and the reason, believe it or not, you can take all this with a grain of salt, or two, but he was infected with the black goo. And before the black goo actually took over his being and would kind of make him a zombie, basically, he decided that he would shift, he would kind of leave that dimension and go to the next dimension. What we kind of consider dying, but it's not the same idea. It's a choice. And so he chose to go to the next dimension. And he had been explaining about the planet, and also that on their planet, they were not able to deal with the darkness. On their planet, it was all love and light. So they didn't deal with their lower emotions. It's all just up here in the love and light kind of stuff. And so they didn't know how to handle the lower stuff, the darker stuff. And they just ignored it and pushed it out, pushed it away. And that was what really contributed to their planet being destroyed. Not necessarily, their planet wasn't destroyed, but it's kind of, when they showed it to me, it was kind of frozen over and it looked uninhabitable. But I don't know if that's all they showed me, so I don't know. And so that, for example, what I'm doing here is trying to process both the dark and the light, in order to help them process the dark and the light. So since, as we are star children, we are not just part of the human collective, but we're also connected to our other star family collectives. And so whatever we learn will be uploaded into what they learn. So they are experiencing this through us, in a sense. Anyway, so that's my story, and that's what came out today. So about Halloween. Also, a funny thing is that Diwali, which is the Indian festival of light over darkness, happens the day before Halloween. So it is a very, very intense time of the year, I think, for dealing with light and dark. And for us to find a way to instead of thinking about dark or light, but kind of rising above that and realizing that we're just all one, and there is no dark and there is no light, there is just love. So, but anyway, so that's my story for today. I don't know if there's a channeling. Let's see. Okay, so let's see who comes through. Greetings, it is Archangel Raphael, and we are here to bring you the idea of peace and the idea of blessings, and to tell you that everything that you are looking upon is what you need to look upon, and these things are there to help you and to guide you in the right direction. Everything is so well prepared for you. Everything has been scripted, you might say. Not to take away the excitement from it, but everything has been scripted, so when it happens, accept it as it is and play along with it. This is kind of like an improvisational game where you just accept what happens and you try to go along with it rather than stopping the flow. It's like the flow of a river. It's very difficult to stop the flow of a river. You can dam it, but there's always the flow there somewhere, and it's always going to try to break through, because it is a natural force, and the natural force, it just wants to flow, and that's just like you need to flow. So everything is about flowing, so you don't want to stop anything that you are feeling, and you just want to let it go, and everything that you see, just let the things that you see be the way that they are, and just accept them and go with them and flow with it. This is not to say that you can't change what you see, but this is to say that when you do see something, to not go into direct judgment about it, because that's when you lose. That's when you, in a sense, that's when you lose the game. You have to see what's in front of you and then understand that it is you and that you created it, and then to accept that and understand that. That is the key. Accepting and understanding is the key. Not blind acceptance, of course. If you see something that you don't like, that doesn't mean that you just have to accept it blindly. That means that you have to work with your forgiveness practice and try to understand why this thing was shown to you, because it was shown to you for a reason. There's always a very specific reason why things are shown to you. As we said, they're very, very scripted, all of this stuff. So you are seeing these things for a reason. And the reason is, these are the things that you want to see. These are the things that are inside of you. And you want to be able to go through this story and understand how to deal with this story and understand what the real story is, because sometimes you don't really know what your story is until you see it right out in front of you, played out in front of you. And that is a wonderful thing for all of you. I am Archangel Raphael, and we are here always to give you a sense of peace, a sense of love and of blessings. And whenever you need help from us, we can come and help you. All right, so that's Archangel Raphael. And today, when I was talking with Archangel Raphael, I asked him why he refers to himself as we, that angels, are you just a group of people kind of as one angel? And he said that they are a collective of energy. So it's not just one person, but it's a collective of this energy signature, I guess. So I don't even know if it's like a one person kind of thing that we think of, but it's a collection of this energy is the way that he expressed it to me, and that's why they say we.